Hi everyone, welcome back to the episode 2 of this series, WAEC Mathematics Made Easy. So where I'll be explaining how you can have distinction in your mathematics and hint you can use to approach some of the mathematics WAEC questions. Before I continue, in this episode I have a message for you, my dear brothers and sisters preparing for WAEC, especially those looking for Orijo. So those looking for the linked questions, those looking for how to pass via my practices. So let me tell you that my practices has killed your reading culture. So, and you don't want to read again because of examination malpractice. Unfortunately, many people now rely on Orijo for them to pass. Many students don't want to read again. Please don't be part of them. Unfortunately, many websites will be asking students to pay to get examination leak questions. Please don't do that. Don't go to that website. Use your data to watch, useful videos that will make you pass excellently. So please refrain from getting these original questions. Sit down, read your book. If you read it, you can pass. Mathematics is very beauty. There is beauty in mathematics. Mathematics is beautiful, interesting, and easy to understand and pass. So also other subjects as well. So my message for you this morning is to shun examination malpractice. Read. So and join me in this campaign. Read. Stop looking for the Joe. Stop examination malpractice. Okay, now in this episode, I'm going to start with new question. I've informed you if you are really keen about passing mathematics excellently, having distinction, then you have come to a right place. So sit down, take your pen, and follow me throughout this episode and my subsequent episodes. So the first question I'm going to solve today. So let me just bring it here. I think we are moving. Okay. So this question is on simultaneous equation. The question is on simultaneous equation. You have to expect them in the exam. So simultaneous equation is one of the likely questions you are going to come across in your mathematics, in WAEC, even in NECO or JAMB. So look at this question. The question says, if 4x plus y, if 4x plus y is equal to 16, 6x minus 2y is equal to 4. The question asks us to not only find the value of y, s and y, but to find the difference after finding them. You understand now? That is, we have to find the coordinate x, y, and after finding it, so we have to find the value of y minus x. Before I start, what is simultaneous linear equation? We all know, we are all aware of linear equation. When we say linear equation, so let's say I have something of this nature, s plus 1. This is an expression. So it's an expression in terms of x. I hope you understand now. So because your expression, and you can have it in terms of degree wise as well as term wise. Or before I start explaining that, this is an expression. We can say this expression graduates to an equation. In essence, expression is just a combination of constant and variable. I hope you understand now. So, but if I have equals to 3 now, so then this expression has graduated to an equation. So when you have an equality sign and you have another expression, on the two sides, maybe you have one on the left hand side and the other on the right hand side, then you have an equation. So then you can categorize your equation degree wise as well as term wise. What do I mean by degree wise? Degree wise, when we say degree of an expression or an equation is the highest power to which that equation is raised. For example, now our x here is unknown. You know the highest power to which s is raised here is 1. Then we can say s is having, s is this expression or equation is of degree 1. If I have something of this nature, x squared plus 3x, this is an expression, but the highest degree to which this expression, is raised is what? Is 2. You understand now? Then we say this expression is what? Is an expression of degree 2. Although this guy can also graduate to an equation, then you say it's an equation of degree 2. You can have degree 3, degree 4. So if you want to know degree of a particular equation, just check the highest power to which that equation or expression is raised. In essence, if I have s raised power 5 is equal to 1, then you can say this is an equation of degree what? Of degree 5. I hope you understand now. So when you now have equation of degree 1, we call it linear equation. This is an equation is having degree 1, we call it what? Linear equation. It's said to be linear. When you have equation of degree 2, it is what? It is called quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. So if it's an expression, it will be quadratic expression. If you have an equation of degree 3, we call it what? Cubic equation. I hope you understand. Now, if it is 4, we have quartic. So more than 4, you can say equation of degree 5, equation of degree 6, and so on. And what I want to inform you also is that when you have equation of a particular degree, then you are going to have that root. What I'm trying to say now is that if you have equation of degree n, then you are going to have n root. What do I mean by equation of degree n? That is when the highest degree to which that particular equation is raised is what? Is n. Then you are going to have n root. Root is what? The value that satisfy that particular equation, such that when you equate it, for example, now this s plus 1, now the root of this equation is what? Is 2, because the value of x that will make this equation to be true. I hope you understand now. So that is that. So equation of degree n, we also have n roots. That's why when you are solving quadratic equation, you used to get 2 roots. That is 2 value that satisfy that equation. That is that for degree wise. What of term wise? Because I want you to understand that before I actually start. Term wise, if I have s plus 3 plus y, you understand now. So when you have a variable or a constant, immediately you now have a sign, whether addition or subtraction sign, then what you have after it will be another term. In essence, this is a term, this is first term, this is another term because I have addition after it. So this is another term. So if I have minus z now, this is another term. It means for this kind of expression, we can say it's an expression of term 4 or an expression having 4 terms. So, and if you now have one term expression, we call it monomial term. You understand now? Or you call it what? A monomial expression. So monomial expression, sorry, let's call it monomial expression. So what if I have something like this? This expression is having how many what? How many terms? 2 terms. So a 2-term expression is known as binomial expression. Is known as binomial expression. When you have 3-term expression, this is having how many terms? That's 3 times 1, 2, 3. Then we call it what? Trinomial expression. I hope you understand now. So, and when you have what? When you have 4 or more than 4, I hope you understand now. So, you can have what we call what? So, polynomial. So, you can have what we call polynomial. But this way I'm going, now I have 4s plus 2y is equal to 16. And 6s minus 2y is equal to 4. So we know that this is what? This is a linear equation because it's an equation of degree 1. But instead of one variable, this is a variable, s is a variable now because it's unchanged. Constant is a number. So here 4, 2, 6, minus 2 are constant, even 16 and 4 they are constant. So, but now we have two variables and we have to find this, the value of these two variables x and y concurrently. We have to find it together. When you now have that type of equation, so whereby you ask to find the value of unknowns, so concurrently, then we have what we call it simultaneous equation. So in that sense, so this simultaneous equation in two variables, and when you have a simultaneous equation, before you can get a unique solution for them, then you have to have two equation as well. I hope you understand. Now when you have two variables, you have to have two equations. When you have three variables, you have to have what? Three equation as well. Okay, now do you now solve this? There are different methods you can devise. So number one is what? Your so-called elimination method. You have elimination method. We have substitution method, and we have graphical method. All these methods are not difficult. So for elimination method, that is to eliminate. I hope you understand now. That is, you eliminate, since we are interested in finding the values of two variables, eliminate one to know the other. You understand now? Then immediately you know one, so then you use that to find another one. I hope you understand now. But substitution is that make one the subject of the formula, substitute it into another equation, and what? And simplify it further. Okay, now let's say I have something of this nature now. If I want to use elimination method, before you can use elimination method, first of all decide on which variable you want to eliminate. Is it S? Is it Y? But when you are doing your exam, I think first thing to check is if, or before I proceed, and before you can eliminate that particular variable, I said you have to decide on which variable you want to eliminate. Before you can eliminate that variable, you must ensure that the coefficient of the variable in the two equations you were given are the same. What do I mean by coefficient? Coefficient are are the numbers that multiply the unknowns. For example, now the coefficient of x here is 4 because it is 4 that multiply x. The coefficient of y here is 2. The coefficient of y here is minus 2 because minus 2 multiply y. I hope you understand that. Can you tell me the coefficient of x here? That is 6. I hope you understand. So now, before you can eliminate a variable, you have to ensure their what? So their coefficient is equal. Suppose I want to eliminate s now, then I must have the same coefficient here. If I want to eliminate y, then I must have the same coefficient. So, and what you have to look up is that if you are solving this kind of equation and you just check, okay, now, is my coefficient equal in any of the unknowns? If your coefficient are equal in any of the unknowns, then you don't even need to make them equal again. Just try and use your elimination method directly. For example, now if you check the coefficient of y now, then it is very easy for you because the coefficient are equal. I hope you understand now. Then you now think of what you can do to make the coefficient to be equal. I hope you understand. So to get rid of the a variable, here we have 4s plus 2y is equal to 16, 6s minus 2y is equal to 14. Then now think, are you going to add this equation together or subtract this equation together before you can get rid of y? Because you want to get rid of y, and the principle is that before you can get rid of y, the coefficient must be equal. God so good, their coefficient, y has the same coefficient in the two equations. So what are you now going to do to get rid of it? Are you going to add or subtract? Think of it. Are you going to add? If you add, that will be 2 plus minus 2. That is what? That will give you 0. But if you subtract, you are not going to have 0. That will be 2 minus 2, which will give you 4. I hope you understand. It means we are going to add. You can now say, maybe I call this equation 1, I call this equation 2. Add 1 and 2, Then you now be adding them together. The first term here with the first term here, 4x plus 6x will give you 10x, 2y plus minus 2y, so that is 0. And another thing is that even if you don't know whether you are going to add or subtract, if the sign are not the same, you add. If the sign are the same, you subtract. You understand? Because they are the same thing. But if the sign are not the same and you now have the same coefficient, then you can subtract. So that's why, the sign are not the same. Yeah, this one is having positive, this one is having negative. Then we are going to add. Then this will give you 0. Then 16 plus 4. Then I'm going to have 20. Then your x will now be what? 20 divided by 10, which is equal to 2. Now, since you know that, you now say put x equal to 2 in equation what? In equation 1 or any of your equation. So, and don't forget your equation 1 says 4x plus 2y is equal to 16. And I know that my s is what? My s is 2. If you now substitute the value of 2 there, then I'm going to have 4 times 2 plus 2y is equal to 16. That is 8 plus 2y is equal to 16. 2y is equal to 16 minus 8. 2y is equal to 8, which implies your y is equal to what? 8 over 2, which is 4. Then you can now say, therefore, x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 4. But the question asks us to find what? Y minus s. You understand? Now, if you check the question has to find y minus s. And what is my y? 4 minus 2. So 4 minus 2. What is 4 minus 2? 4 minus 2 will give me 2. Can you see that now? So, yeah, that is that. But you have to remind me of something. I was saying you have to ensure that your coefficients are equal before you eliminate. Okay, now let's say we were just given this and their coefficients are not equal. 4x plus 2y is equal to 16, and you have 6x minus 2y is equal to 4. 6x minus 2y is equal to 4. Let's say now I want to eliminate x. It is also possible. What you can do before you eliminate a variable, don't forget, you have to ensure that their coefficients are equal. Now the coefficient of 4 here, s here is 4. The coefficient of s here is 6. How do I make them equal? It is not difficult. It's just like maybe you are having rice, I'm having beans, and we were told that we must be able to eat the same food. I hope you understand now. So before you can eat the same food, before both of us can eat the same food, then I must give you rice. One of the ways to do that is that I give you my small of my rice and you give me small of your beans. Then we both eat rice and beans together. So then what you can do here is to just say, so, okay, sorry, my pen is misbehaving. So what you can do here is just to say multiply this by 6 and multiply this by 4. And even if you don't want to stress yourself, this is even, all are multiples of 2. You can divide through by 2. If you divide through by 2, this will give you 2x plus y is equal to what? Is equal to 8. And this will give me what? 3x minus y is equal to 2. Let's say if I reduce, you can reduce it to that. Just think of any way you can do so that it will make your way, you are going to have a kind of shortcut. Can you see now? If I want to eliminate y now, it is trivial because they have the same coefficient. But I want to teach you how you can eliminate if the coefficients are not equal. So you understand now. Okay, now I have rice, you have beans. How do we eat rice and beans together? You give me small rice, I give you small beans. Then you multiply this by 3, you multiply this by 2. Then if you multiply them together, I'm going to have 6x plus 3y is equal to 24. 6x minus 2y is equal to 4. Then if you subtract, oh sorry, before I even say before you subtract, you can see now that their coefficients are equal. You understand now, C6. Then how are you going to eliminate it? Are you going to add or subtract? Don't forget, if their sign are equal, you subtract. If they have different sign, you add. It means I'm going to subtract here. If you now subtract this guy from each other, then 6x minus 6x, that is 0. 3y minus 2y, that is 3y. The product or quotient of 2 likes times give you positive. Minus times minus is plus. 3y plus 2y will give me 5y is equal to 24 minus 4, that is 20. Then you have y is equal to 20 divided by 5, which is equal to 4. And you can just say put y is equal to 4 in equation 1 or any of your equation. And don't forget equation 1 says 2x plus y is equal to 8. You understand now? So then your y, put it to before, you have 2x plus y is equal to 8. So that will give you 2x is equal to 8 minus 4. 2x is equal to 4. X is equal to 4 divided by 2, which is equal to 2. Can you see it is the same? So y is equal to 4. That's elimination method. Before you use elimination method, just ensure that their coefficients are equal. If you ensure that their coefficients are equal, then you cannot just eliminate. And before you eliminate, check is the sign of the coefficient in the two equations are equal. If they are equal, you subtract. If they have different signs or alternate sign, you what? You add. Okay, now let me quickly brush up substitution method for you as well. Because maybe if I have this equation now, 2x plus y is equal to 8. That's what we reduce it to. And the second one is 3x minus y. If you use any of the method, you are going to arrive at the same answer. 3x minus y is equal to 2. What are you going to do if you want to use substitution method? Because substitution method means make one of the, a variable the subject of the formula and substitute. Maybe I can just say from equation 1 or equation 2, anyhow. So from equation 1, I have 2x plus y is equal to 8. Then make y the subject of the formula, or make s the subject of the formula, anyone you like. If I make y the subject of the formula, y will now be what? 8 minus 2x. You understand now? If your y is equal to 8 minus 2s, you can call this equation 3. You now say put or substitute y is equal to 8 minus 2s in equation 2. You know you've used equation 1, then you now substitute it in equation 2. If you make equation 2 the subject of the formula, it means you have to substitute it to equation 1. Then if you substitute it in equation 2, you have 3x minus y is equal to 2. Don't forget your y is what? 8 minus 2x. But you have to be careful in mathematics. When you have negative and what follows negative is more than one term, that is, what follows negative is not a monomial expression, then you have to enclose within bracket, because that negative sign will affect it. You understand now? So if you just say minus 8 minus 2s without putting it in bracket, then you are wrong. You are going to make a mistake. Okay, let's say you write it like this: 3s minus 8 minus 2s equal to 2. Okay, let's do this one. You will see that you are wrong, because this will now give me 3x minus 8 plus 2s equal to 2. Can you see they are not equal? You've made a mistake here. So in any case, when you have negative and what follows it is more than a term, you have to enclose within bracket, please. So then 3x, if you collect the like term, this will give me what? 5x is equal to 2. You bring this guy here plus 8. Then you have what? 5x is equal to 10, which implies x is equal to 10 over 5. That is 2. From here, you can just say put s is equal to 2 in equation 3. So in equation 3, I have y is equal to 8 minus 2s. Substitute the value of s now. I have y is equal to 8 minus 2 into 2. Y is equal to 8 minus 2 times 2, that is 4, which is 4. You see, x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4. But you have to be careful. You will have to find y minus x. That will give you 4 minus 2. You know, I use all the method and I arrive at the same answer. So if you come across, what do you call it? Simultaneous equation in the exam like this. So this is how you are going to approach it. This is how you are going to approach it. Okay, now another question. I think this one is on Surds. This question is on Surds. Question 2. You have 2 root 7 minus 14 divided by root 7 plus 7 divided by root 21. I hope you understand now. So, okay, let me write the option. The first option, we have root 21 over 21, 7 root 21 over 21. So then root 21 over 7, and D, so we have 3 root 21. So how do you solve this kind of question? We have 2 root 7 minus 14 divided by root 7 plus 7 divided by root 21. First of all, what do I mean by root? or radical. When you have this kind of radical, we call them surd. You know, don't forget your whole number. We know whole number, that is number starting from your counting numbers. You have your natural number as well. So your natural numbers are the set of counting number, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, up to that. Although according to K-Strud, 0 is part of natural number. You understand that? So don't be surprised when you find out that 0 is also a natural number, maybe in some textbook. So some author classify 0 also as natural number, that is the counting number. Do you know the reason they give? One of the reason they gave, some of them said no, 0 is not a natural number. The reason those who said 0 is not a natural number is this. We define natural number as a set of counting numbers. They said, okay, for example, now if I put, pen on top of a table and I ask somebody to come and count it for me, will that person start from 0? That person is going to start from what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they said, okay, now, so 0 is not a natural number, because when you are counting, you are not going to start from 0. But those who said 0 is part of natural number, they said, okay, now, is 10 not a natural number? 10 is a natural number, and 10 is also composed of what? 1 and 0. What of 20? 2 and 0, 30. What of 1,000? 100. So since 0 is also part of the natural number, they said, okay, now 0 is also a natural number. But that's not where I'm going. We still have integers. Integer, that is the set of positive number, negative number, and 0. Then you have your rational number, that is number that can be expressed in terms of P over Q, that is the fractional number. So here your Q is a number not equals to 0. So an example of that is what? When you have maybe 3 over 5, 2 over 7, etc. Yeah, like this is a fractional number. So I've forgotten the example of integers are what? When you have something of this nature, maybe -5, 7, 0 is a natural number. -90 is a natural is an integer. But when we say irrational number which is denoted by Q, you cannot write them in terms of this. Number that cannot be expressed in terms of this. I hope you understand now. And we call them, maybe when you have √2, √3, you understand now, pi, they are rational number because they cannot be expressed as a single fraction. So, and most of the time, all this natural number, we call them surd. I hope you understand now. So that's how we have surd. And we have this rule of surd, that is rule of radical. I hope you understand now. And one of the rule you have to take into account is when you have root A multiplied by root B, then the same thing as root AB. Likewise, root A divided by root B is also the same thing as what? Root A divided by B. Okay, your root A multiplied by root A is what? Is A. That is when you multiply a number inside the radical by itself, then you are going to have that number without radical. I hope you understand now. So yeah, there are many of those you have to take into account. So you have to take into account. But we have to be careful. Root A plus root B is not equal to root A plus B. You understand now? Likewise, minus. When you subtract, they are not equal. I hope you understand. You have to take note of that. So now let us move to our question. Enough of the introduction, but I want you to just know it. You have 2√7. And then another thing I want you to take into account in sort is rationalization. How do you rationalize? To rationalize is to make that irrational number to be irrational. For example, if I have A divided by root B, if I want to rationalize this denominator, that is to get rid of this radical, you understand now? You know that one of the rule here is that when you multiply root of a number by that root of a number again, you are going to get that number, which is what? Rational form. So it means if I want to rationalize this, I can just multiply by what? Root B divided by root B. Obviously, this is going to be 1. It has no effect. Then I'm going to have A root B divided by B. I hope you understand now. So that's rationalization. But when you have more than 2 terms, maybe I have something of this nature, that's another rule you have to take into account. I'm giving you because you might come across it in your exam. So what of this? If you want to rationalize this, then you have to multiply by the conjugate of this guy. It is when you multiply this by conjugate, you are going to have what? a rational number. What is a conjugate of a number? When I have a plus root b, then its conjugate is what? A minus root b. It is because when you multiply a plus root b by a minus root b, then you know if you apply your difference of two square, this is going to give you a square minus root b squared. You see that get rid of what? That get rid of this radical. It means you want to rationalize this guy, then you multiply by what? You multiply both numerator and denominator by the conjugate of root b minus c. So that will now be root b plus c multiplied by root b minus c. So if that is clear, let us now move to our question. You have 2 root 7 minus 14 root 7 plus 7 divided by root 21. You can do this in two ways. You understand now? So one of the ways, if I were you, is to just I can rationalize this, or you can find your SEM. I can use the same second method for you as well. You know this, if you want to rationalize this will be what? Root 7 times root 7 divided by root 7. You didn't do anything. You understand now? Because root 7 divided by root 7 is 1. You understand? That's what we do in mathematics. We just manipulate to have our way. You understand now? Okay, likewise, this one can also be what? I can say root 21 divided by root 21. You understand now? Then you now have 4 root 7 minus 14 root 7. This one will give me what? Root 7 times root 7. Don't forget root 8 times root 8 will give you 8. This is 7. Then plus 7 root 21. Root 21 times root 21, that will also give you 21. Then you find your LCM. Your LCM is 21. How many one are you going to see in 21? That is 21. 21 times this. What is 21 times 4? This is 4. This is 8. Then you have 84 root 7. Then minus 7 in this, that is 3. So 3 times 14, that will give you 42, I think. Root 7. Then plus 21 in 21, that is 1 times this, that's 7 root 21. You know, I said the other time that you have to be careful. Root a plus root b is not equal to what? Root a plus b, you know that. But you can add, the coefficients of the same roots together. For example, if I have c root a plus d root a, then the same thing as what? C plus d root a. It's just like when you're having two pens. When you're having a pen and you're having another pen. Maybe this root 7, you categorize it like a pen. It means 84 pen minus 42 pen plus 7 pen. That's what we have to do there. I hope you understand now. So then 84 pen minus 42 pen, that is 84 root 7 minus 42 root 7. That will give you 42 root 7, right? 42 root 7 plus 7. That will give you 49 root 7. Sorry, 49 root 21 divided by 21. So I hope I'm making sense. 49 root 21 divided by 21. So yeah. Any other thing? So any other thing? What else? What else can we have? 49 root 7 divided. Then I think you can reduce this further. You know, this one you can say this is 7 squared. I hope you understand. Divided by root 7. Or even if I don't want to stress, you know what I'm trying to do, because we check here, you will see that this is not equal. This is not equal with what we have on the equation yet. But I can reduce it further. That's what I want to do. You know, this can be 49 times root 7 times root 3 divided by 21. I hope you understand now. So I'm thinking of the way of marrying this guy together. I think it is possible. Let me see if the answer is in row 3. I think perhaps we might have made a mistake. Let me check it again. Am I correct with the equation? 2 root 7 minus 14 root 7 plus 7 root 21. Then 2 root 7, if you multiply by their conjugate, 14 root 7 over 7, 7 root 21 divided by 21. Oh, so yeah, 48, I'm correct. 14 times 3, so that is 12. 42, yeah, I'm also correct. So that is 7. 84 minus 42, that is 42. 42 plus 7, that's 49. Yeah, I think I'm correct. Yeah, I'm correct. So 49 divided by what? 49 root 21 divided by root 21. So Yeah, oh, sorry. I think 7 can go. 7 here is 3, 7 here is 7. Then I'm going to have 7 root 21 divided by 3. That's that. But another method, if you don't want to stretch yourself, is to just find the ICM directly. You understand now? That is not difficult to do. Find the ICM. The ICM will be root 21. 1 in root 21, that is root 21. That will give you 2 root 7 times root 21. Then minus this in this, that will give you root 3. Minus 14 root 3. Then plus root 21 root 21, that is 1. 1 times 7, that is 7. If you want to learn more about Surds, I think I have video on Surds. You can refer to it. Then this one will now give you 2 root 7 times, you can split this further as root 7 times root 3, right? Then minus 14 root 3 plus 7 divided by root 21. So you see that this guy will cancel, root 7 times root 7 will give you 7. 7 times 2, that is 14. Then you have 14 root 3 minus 14 root 3 plus 7 divided by root 21. And 14 root 3 minus 14 root 3 will give you 0. Then you have 7 root 21. Then you have to rationalize this. Yeah. Then this will give you 7 root 21 times root 21 divided by root 21. That will give you 7 root 21 over 21. You see, we have the same result. So if you are willing to learn, more about such, so I ask you to refer to my question on what? Refer to my question on such. Refer to my question, refer to my video on such. That is mathematics from zero to guru. So I think I should solve one more question, then we call it a day, because I don't want this episode to be too, the time to be too much so that you won't get bored. Look at this one now. So look at this question. Yeah, I think it is part of the same series we are solving. So the circumference of a circular track is what? Is 9 kilometer, and the cyclists rise round it. So the circumference, what is circumference? Maybe when you have a circle, if this is a circular track, then this is your circumference. That is the total length from here to here. So maybe let's say this is the starting point. Then we were told that the cyclic ran it a number of times. Stop after covering a distance of what? 302 kilometers. And how far is the cyclic from the starting point? You understand now? And the circumference of a circular track is what? Is 9 kilometers. If you think of this very well, you will see that it is just an application of modular arithmetic. So when we say modular arithmetic is what? Is a ring arithmetic. Are you getting that now? So it's a ring arithmetic. And don't forget in your modular arithmetic, so it's just a system of arithmetic for integers. So it's just consider the remainders. In essence, we are working in a particular modulo, then your residue can just be the number between what? Between 0 and that number minus 1. You understand now? So number wrap up upon reaching a given fixed quantity. So this given quantity is known as the modulus to leave a remainder. I hope you understand now. And you use application of modulus in your day-to-day activities when you are counting the days. You can see that we have 7 days in the week. When we start from Sunday and we end from what? So from we end on Saturday, you are still going to start again. It means if I said I use 14 days, then that 14 days is equivalent to what? 2 weeks. How do we know that? Because 14 divided by 7, that is 2 remainder 0. I hope you understand now. So, and before I even go, don't forget I said modulo works with remainder, integers. So if you are dividing, maybe I want you to express 14 mod 2. Then in mode 2, the residue you can have are what? Number between 0 and 1 alone. You can have 2 or number greater than 2. I said when you are working in modulo K, then your residue, that is remainder you must have, must be number between 0 and what? And K minus 1. It means 14, then you have to divide 2 by 14 and you write the remainder alone. How many 2 are we going to see in 14? That's 7 remainder 0. Then you now say 0 mod 2. Okay, what if I have 28 divided by 2? You know, this is also 14. That's 0 mod 2. When you have the same remainder like this, you understand now, then you can say 14 is congruent to 28 in mode 2. I hope you understand now. So you can add, subtract, divide and multiply number in modular arithmetic. I have video for that. Refer to my SSC mathematics from zero to guru. I explain it clearly there. So, but the question here is just an application of modular arithmetic. You know, since the circumference of that circular track is 9 kilometers, and a cyclic now round it number of time and stop at after covering 302. It means if I want to be, if I want to be measuring the distance e cover, you know, it is 9 kilometers from this 302, I can just say 3029. Then how far is the cyclic from the starting point? They want to know if I maybe from 9, if I cover 9, that is one round. I will start from the starting point again. If this is the starting point, it means from here to here is 9. Another here 18. Another here from here 20 what? So 27. That is, you will be having what? Multiples of 9. But now we want to know where it starts. Maybe at the end of the day, I now stop here. Then I must be able to know the distance between this guy and here. That's what you ask to find out. You can do that using your modulo, like I've explained. Then you are now going to tell us what is 302 under modulo 9. And don't forget, modulo is what? It's just an integer. And you can only obtain, it from what? Residues of 9. What are the residues of 9? Number between what? 0 and what? And 8. Okay, now you just divide how many 9 you're going to see in 30. That is 3, remainder 3. 9 in 32, that is also 3. Remainder what? Remainder 5. So remainder 5. Since your remainder is 5, then you are going to have 5 mod 9. I hope you understand now. So, and 5 kilometer is your result. I think because of the time, so it is good for us to stop here. So I will see you in the next episode. If you are really serious, my friend, in learning mathematics, and if you want to pass your WAEC excellently, then you have come to the right place. Why not you just sit down, read it, and don't do this thing alone. Invite your friend as well. Send it to your friends and many other people so that they can benefit too. Again, don't forget the first message I pass, shun malpractices. Till I meet you in the next video, I'm Gafari Lokumon, Lukgaf. Thank you.